Yoga must not be practiced to control the body. It is the opposite. It must bring freedom to the body, all the freedom it needs. Vanda Scarveli. Happy Thursday. Welcome to your mats, yogis, near and far. We're going to start our practice today in Hero's Pose. Knees and ankles together, sitting back onto your heels with palms resting face down on top of your thighs. Just taking the first couple moments of your practice really to arrive. Bringing your mind's eye to your breath and following your breath inside your body. Inhaling and creating space, and exhaling and softening into the space that you've created. Release any tension from your jawline, from the center of your brow. And take your attention to your heart center. Bring your hands behind your back, rock up onto your knees and tuck your toes. Sit back onto your heels, stretching out through the bottoms of your feet. And then as you inhale, roll your shoulders back and down. Lift the center of your sternum. Keep the sides of your neck long. Maybe slightly lift your chin, opening into the front of your body. Breathe all the way from the bottom of your belly, all the way up into the chest and collarbones. With your next exhale, untuck your toes. Hinge from your waist and bring your forehead towards your mat or towards the floor. If it's comfortable for you, you can slowly start to peel your forearms away from your spine, opening into the front of the chest and shoulders. Exhale and release your hands. Bringing hands underneath shoulders and stepping your knees back into a kneeling plank position. Exhale onto your belly and then slide your elbows underneath your shoulders. Place your palms flat onto your mat. Untuck your toes for Sphinx pose. Pull the crown of your head up and away from your tailbone. And feel your lower belly gently pressing into the earth. If this is enough compression for your lower back, you can stay here, drawing into that sensation through the expansion of your breath. If you want to feel some more into the low back, you can slowly bend at your knees, resting the inner ankle bones together. Continue to elongate all four sides of your waist. And notice the steady flow of your breath in and out of your nose. Let your legs release back to the floor if your knees are bent. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale to press into a kneeling plank position. And then walk your hands back so that you land into tabletop pose. Counterposing through the back body as you press the earth away. And then inhaling into cow pose, lift your chin, lift your tailbone. Just moving with your own natural breath. Inhaling and opening into the front body, belly and heart soften. And exhaling and exploring the back body. Really push up in between your shoulder blades, lengthen your tailbone down. Just taking a couple more breaths at your own pace. It's really tapping into that sense of freedom that you find in breath movement. Sense of fluidity, a sense of ease. Coming back to a neutral spine, swing your right ankle out at 90 degrees, step your left leg back and reach your left fingers towards the sky. Float your left leg away from the floor and then reach your left hand back to find your ankle. If your ankle is not there, just keep your left leg extended and left hand reaching up in a variation of side plank. If you have the bind, let the weight of your leg draw your shoulder down onto your back. Really breathe through the front body. Keep your chin slightly away from your chest. And then exhale, release your left leg down. Reach your left arm overhead. Really big rainbow stretch through the left side torso. Place your left hand back to the floor, left knee to the floor. And we'll take that to the other side. Swing your left shin out, 90 degrees. Step your right foot back, right arm floats up. Float your right leg away from the floor. Let your right arm reach back as you bend into your right knee for the bind. And try not to struggle or fight against your body here. If the bind isn't there, just staying in that modified variation. Release the bind. Reach your arm overhead, stretching into the right side body. And then right hand floats back to your mat, right knee to the floor. Slide your hands forward, hips forward to a kneeling plank. Tuck your toes, lift the backs of your thighs, and then lift your tailbone all the way up towards the sky, downward facing dog. Pedal out through your heels. Try and find an even pressure through your hands. Opening your heart towards your upper thighs. And softening the sides of your neck, letting the top of your head be heavy. With your next inhale breath, float your right leg up towards the sky. Bend into your right knee. And let your right ankle be heavy for fire hydrant pose. Trying to find that even pressure through the hands. And then exhale your right foot down. Inhale forward to high plank, knees to the floor. Exhale to your belly. Inhale your heart up and forward, baby cobra. Exhale to release back down. Inhale to a kneeling plank position, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up towards the sky. Bend into your left knee. Open stack your hips, keeping an even balance, even pressure through your hands and fingers. And pausing in fire hydrant pose for one more breath. And then release your left leg down. Inhale to a high plank. Exhale to low plank or to the floor. Inhale to baby cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale back to downward facing dog. Look up at the space between your hands and slowly make your way forward into a soft knee forward fold. Releasing tension out of the back lines of the body. Find the crown of your head becoming heavy and surrendering to that gentle pull from gravity. Notice your breath here. And see if you can feel your belly gently pressing against your thighs. With your next breath in, lift halfway, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale back to the half lift, and exhale to let it go. One more time. This time as you inhale all the way up, stretch up towards your fingertips. And exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthiti, or equal standing pose. Centered on your breath. And finding your flow as we move through some half sun salutations. Inhale to stretch up, and exhale, swan dive to a forward fold. Inhale to a half lift, and exhale and release. Inhale, root to rise, circle your arms overhead, lift your gaze towards your fingertips. And then exhale, pull your hands into heart center, rest your thumbs against your sternum. If I'm moving faster or slower than you on your mat, just take your time and move with your breath. Feeling the power and expansion of your inhale breath as you rise up. And exhaling away any tension, any restriction away from the body as you bring your hands back down. One more time, inhale, arms will circle. Exhale, surrender to gravity, soft knees, relax the back of your neck. Inhale, halfway lift, belly draws in and up. And exhale, softening, forward fold. Root to rise, press your feet down as you circle your arms up overhead. And then exhale, hands back down to heart center. Take the opportunity to check in here. Then with your next breath in, reach your arms overhead, swan diving into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your right leg back, place your right knee gently to your mat. Find some traction between your left knee and right heel, and walk your hands up onto your thigh. Keep that traction as you draw your low belly in and up to lengthen your low back, and then gently press your hips forward. Inhale, your arms overhead. Cactus your arms, lift the center of your chest for a gentle back bend, honoring your body here and making sure that you're not pushing into any pain, just exploring sensation. Find an inhale breath and stretch up, and exhale to frame your front foot, stepping back, downward facing dog. You might choose to keep your right leg lifted as you move through your vinyasa, untucking toes, flipping feet, and lifting your heart forward and through. Exhaling back to downward facing dog, always knowing that you can modify those movements and choose baby cobra instead. Inhale and float your right leg up towards the sky. And then exhale and step your right foot forward between your hands. Place your left knee down. Walk your hands up on top of your thigh and find that magnetic traction between your right heel and left knee. Draw your lower belly in to lift the pelvic floor and lengthen your low back. Inhale your arms overhead. Cactus your arms. Slightly lift your chin and your chest. Keep supporting your body with your breath. Breathing all the way down into the lower abdomen and letting that breath fill into your back ribs. With your inhale breath, reach your fingertips up. Exhale your hands down to frame your front foot. Squeeze your back knee away from the floor and then step your left foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale to soften and release. Inhale, circle your arms all the way overhead. Exhale, return your hands to heart center. Finding Tadasana or standing mountain pose. Slide the heads of your shoulders back and down, widening across your collarbones. Connect all four corners of both feet into the floor and gently hug your quadriceps towards your bones. With your next breath in, reach your fingertips toward the sky. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a half lift, long back. Exhale, plant your palms, this time left foot steps back. Bring your right hand onto your low back or your sacrum. You can stay here or possibly lift your right hand up towards the sky. Again, option to stay in this twist or to come into an IT band stretch, rolling to the outside edges of your feet and then lifting your hips up towards the sky. Breathe into the sensation that you find in your body, expanding awareness into all the little corners. Pivoting around, plant your hands, float your right leg up, and then as you exhale, draw your knee towards your nose, kick your right foot to the left side of your mat, and lift your left hand up towards the sky into fallen star. Hug your bottom ribs together and lift up towards the ceiling, lift your hips. Maybe your gaze follows your fingertips. Exhale your left hand down, float your right leg up towards the sky. You can place your right foot down or keep your right foot lifted as you move through your vinyasa. Centered on your breath. Float your left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step your foot forward and through. Bring your left hand to your low back, stack your shoulders, lift your gaze. Maybe you lift your left hand away as long as the left shoulder's happy there. And possibly rolling to the outer edges of the feet as long as knees and ankles are only feeling stretch sensation and no sharp pain. Really lift into that upper hip to get into the connective tissue on the outside of the joint. Slowly move up into that sensation with your breath. And then exhale your left hand down. Float your left leg up towards the sky and then across your body. Right hand floats up for fallen star. Keep knitting your bottom ribs together, lifting up into the space above your body. Find freedom in your breath here. And then exhale, float your right hand down. Left leg floats up towards the sky, and maybe keeping that left leg lifted or moving through another variation of vinyasa before transitioning into a wide knee child's pose. Big toe mounds together, knees wide to make lots of space for your belly between your inner thighs. Rest your forehead to your mat or to the earth. You can even gently rock your forehead from side to side, massaging away any clinging thoughts or tension in the mind. Find an inhale breath to rock forward to tabletop, and then lift your hips back to downward facing dog, just tiptoeing forward into a soft knee forward fold. Surrender to gravity. Let your head be heavy. Let your arms hang long. One vertebra at a time, rolling yourself back up into Tadasana or standing mountain pose. Root your left foot down into the floor. Place your right foot against the inside of your ankle, calf, or above your knee to your inner thigh. Hands rest against the center of your sternum, Vrksasana or tree pose. Grow roots down into the mat, into the space around you. Feel yourself drawing energy up from the earth. Turn your right knee forward and then step your right foot all the way back into crescent lunge. Inhale, lift your hands towards the sky, and exhale, interlace your hands behind your low back. Pull your shoulder blades down. Keep powering up through the back of your left thigh. Right hip pulls slightly back as your left hip pulls slightly forward. And breath moves in and out of your nose. Release the bind, place your hands down, stepping back into downward facing dog. Moving through any variation of vinyasa here, or choosing to leave the vinyasa out and rest in downward dog or puppy pose instead. Inhale, float your left leg up towards the sky. And then exhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. Spin your left heel down. Windmill your arms open and around into exalted warrior. Press down through the pinky toe sides of your feet and feel yourself lifting up out of your right hip, right waist. Keep elongating into your right side body. Maintain that feeling of spaciousness as you slowly start to straighten through your front leg. Reach your fingertips towards the front of your mat, and then let your right hand float down, left arm float up into Trikonasana triangle pose. Option to bring your left hand to your low back or your left hand to the inside of your right inner thigh for a half bind. Keep pulling your left shoulder down away from your ear onto your back. Lean your upper body back and expand your breath out from the center of your body, all the way out to your fingers and toes. Unclasp your left hand, float your left arm around to frame your front foot, and then step forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and exhale to let it go. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale to return your hands back to heart center. Moving into Vrikshasana or tree pose on the left side. Left foot to the inside of your ankle, calf, or above your knee to your inner thigh. Rooting down into the mat, into the space beneath you. And drawing that energy up into your body. Turn your left knee forward, step your left leg to the back edge of your mat, and then inhale, reach your fingertips up towards the sky, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands interlace, the opposite interlace this time behind your low back. Keep powering up through the back of your thigh as you lift your heart. Unclasp your hands. Place your hands to frame your right foot. Stepping back to downward dog. The opportunity to move through a vinyasa. Flowing with your breath. Really seeking to find that sense of fluidity, inner freedom. Inhale and float your left leg up towards the sky. Exhale your left foot between your hands, spin your right foot down, windmill all the way into exalted warrior. Keep pressing down through the pinky toe sides of your feet. Really stretching and elongating into the left side of your body here. Maintain that space as you lengthen through your left leg, reach your left fingers forward, left hand down, right arm up. Possibly taking your right hand down behind your low back, or maybe finding the half bind reaching for the crease of the hip. If there's space in the neck and shoulders, you could turn your gaze up towards the ceiling. If that's too much for the neck, you can keep your gaze forward or down. And with your next inhale breath, and floating back up and exhaling to windmill your hands to frame your front foot. Stepping forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Root to rise, inhale, arms will circle overhead. And exhale, hands returning to heart center, Samasthiti. Release your hands down by your sides. And really welcome your breath into your body here, releasing any restrictions around the heart space, around the rib cage or the belly. Inhale and circle your arms overhead, and exhale, swan dive, forward fold. You can step or maybe hop back with the option to move through another vinyasa here. Inhale and float your right leg forward, halfway up your mat, and turn your foot at 90 degrees. Float your right hand up towards the sky into a modified side plank. You can also step your right foot back into a full plank, or maybe even bend your right knee and place your foot on the inseam of your pant for fallen tree. Stay here, or if you'd like to take it into wild thing, slide your right foot off your leg, behind your back, lift your hips, lift your heart, and reach your fingertips towards the top edge of your mat. Making sure that you're honoring and respecting your body and where it's at today. As you exhale, bring your gaze around, right hand floats down, high plank, knees to the floor, sitting back to reset just in a couple breaths in child's pose. Perhaps taking a deep sigh here, inhaling through your nose and exhaling out of your mouth. Inhale to draw forward, coming back into high plank, and then slide your left foot forward at 90 degrees. Modified side plank. Stay here if that's where your body needs to be, working on building strength. Maybe step your left foot back to meet your right, or possibly play into some creativity, any variation of fallen tree. If your body is ready and willing to move into wild thing, left foot steps around behind your back. Lift your hips, open your heart. Keep your inner gaze soft as you expand into your body here. Really working on creating creative space from the inside out. Lean into your breath. Feel your breath picking you up as you breathe into your front ribs. And then follow your gaze as you bring your left hand down, knees to the floor, hips to heels, child's pose. And bring your hands behind the nape of your neck with the palms together, elbows resting onto your mat or onto the floor. Starting to slow down your breath here and creating a langana or a cooling effect as your exhale extends just a couple counts beyond your inhale. Perhaps inhaling to a count of 3 or 4 and exhaling to a count of 5 or 6. Inhale to come forward onto hands and knees. Sit back over your heels, coming into a comfortable seated position. I'm going to offer fire log pose today, but any hip opener that your body desires is available to you on your mat. If you'd like to work with fire log pose, the first option is to place your right shin in front of your left shin. If that's enough stretch sensation, stay there. You can cross your right ankle or right shin over your left. If there's a big gap or space between your knees or between your knees and the floor, perhaps using blankets or pillows to fill in that empty space. Staying upright for many bodies will be enough sensation, but if you feel that your body can move a little deeper into the creases of the hips, into the space of the knees, and slowly start to let your torso fold forward. I like to stack my forearms to rest my forehead and relax the back of my neck. You might have other yoga props available to you at home, or just using blankets and pillows really to help the body feel supported here. Remember not to fight against your body. As you inhale, bring your spine back to neutral. Place your feet wide onto your mat, hands behind your hips, lift your chest, lift your chin, counter pose. And then gently sway your knees from side to side, freeing up any stagnant energy from the hips. Moving to the other side, this time left shin in front of your right. Staying here, or maybe taking your left shin and placing it on top of your right shin. And if there's big gaps or spaces, you can perhaps fill those spaces with blankets or pillows. If it feels good to lean into the stretch, letting your torso lean forward, just gently supporting the forehead. Use your breath as an inquiry. Breathing into the sensation that you feel. As you breathe out, creating space for whatever it is that you need today. Space for freedom, freedom of thought, freedom in creativity, freedom in your mind and in your body. Gently walk yourself back out. Uncross your legs, lift your chest, and then find some windshield wiper action. Knees fall gently from side to side. Turning and making your way onto your spine. Hug your knees in towards your rib cage. Press an anchor down through the base of your tailbone, the base of your skull. Place your left foot to the floor. Send your right leg up towards the ceiling. You can hold the back of your right thigh, calf, ankle, or maybe the ball of your foot or toes. I like to just hold on to my big toe with my peace finger and thumb. If you still feel that there's space in your body, you can send your left leg long, pressing through the ball of your foot. If your left leg's long and your right leg straight, it might feel good to just bring your left hand onto your left hip flexor and gently press away any tension that you feel. Breathe into the back of your right thigh. And then bending at your right knee, shift your hips to the right side as you bring your right knee down towards the left into a supine twist. Open up with your right arm and let your gaze follow your fingertips as long as your neck is happy there. Big breaths into your belly, into your ribs. Inhaling, belly rises, and exhale as your belly button draws back towards your spine. Inhale, bring your knees back to center. Exhale, both knees in towards your chest to reset the spine. Again, looking for that elongation through the back body. Right foot to the floor, left foot to the sky. Sliding your hands into a comfortable place along the back of your leg. Maybe holding on to the big toe with your peace fingers and thumb. Try to keep the hand or the shoulder that is holding the leg softening down onto your back. Right hand can rest on top of the right hip flexor. Slowly bending into your left knee. Bring your left knee across your body. Hips shift slightly to the left side as your knee comes down to the right side. Open up with your left arm and let your gaze travel towards your fingertips. Taking one more inhale breath, one more exhale breath, and then slowly beginning to transition into final resting pose or Shavasana. Making any adjustments to the body, adjusting your clothing, perhaps untying your ponytail, and letting your arms and legs rest in any position that suits you today. Perhaps sliding a blanket or a pillow behind the backs of your knees or the base of your skull. As you settle into stillness, feel the outer edges of your body beginning to dissolve. Aware of your breath as it comes and goes. Aware of your thoughts as they move to and fro. But not getting caught up or tangled in your thoughts as they dance around in your mind. Just observing the movement and then centering yourself back on your breath. Please feel invited, welcome to stay on your mat as long as you need. The beauty of practicing from home is that you can really tailor the end of your practice, perhaps staying in a seated meditation or resting in Shavasana for a few more minutes. Just really indulging in that quiet space. If you're ready to come out, slowly resurfacing on your breath, perhaps rolling to fetal pose, and finding a comfortable seat. Thank you so much for joining me in today's flow practice. Enjoy the rest of your week and weekend. From my heart to yours, namaste.